Dr. Steph here. Welcome back. Today it is the March video for you all. You are here because you struggle with an eating disorder, you know someone who is struggling with an eating disorder, you just like information about eating disorders. Anyway, this is what I talk about. I talk about eating disorder recovery, health at every size, and just information, education, tips, and tools that can maybe help you along your recovery journey. Keep in mind, this is not a substitute for therapy. I'm not providing any specific clinical treatment information. This is just simply a way to educate, hopefully spread awareness, hopefully just give you some inspiration and motivation in your recovery, because recovery is possible. It is a thing that can happen for you. So welcome back. Today, I am talking about something that I hear all the time. I hear from, people in the Facebook group. I hear this from my clients. I get emails. I get messages. Am I sick enough? So just straight up, yes, you are sick enough. Let me talk about why this is an issue, and then I'll relate it to you. So I think the DSM and I think the stigma around eating disorders has really fucked us up, in that we have an idea of what eating disorders look like and what behaviors and what weight and what type of people are affected by eating disorders. And although I love the DSM, clearly, right, it's like our Bible, it's really, really wrong in a lot of ways when it comes to diagnosing eating disorders. So there's a lot of stigma that eating disorders are just really young white women who are emaciated and don't eat anything at all. Unfortunately, some of the diagnostic criteria for eating disorders mentions weight, that a person must be within a certain weight range to be classified as having an eating disorder, and that is all wrong. Even though the DSM is this really remarkable thing, and there's a lot of research and a lot of science and a lot of experts that helped create these diagnoses were created with fat phobia in mind. These diagnoses were created with this very stereotypical view of eating disorders. And let me say it, and I'm gonna say it real loud for those in the back of the room. Eating disorders are not about weight. You cannot diagnose someone with an eating disorder based on their weight. You can have anorexia and not be underweight. You can have anorexia and be a fat person. And let me pause right there for a second. I'm not using the word fat as a way to be mean or to bully. I understand and I want to acknowledge my thin privilege here, and so if I have offended someone by using that word, I am so sorry. I use it because overweight and obesity, those are more oppressive terms than the term fat. Fat is a way to describe a body. Obese and overweight are these medically designed terms to keep people stigmatized, to keep people oppressed. And so fat is a kinder descriptor of people to say that you don't have to be thin to have anorexia. You can have anorexia at any weight, despite what the DSM says. The DSM has it wrong, just quite frankly, and I know that a lot of my colleagues in this field would agree with me. Just because a person may be in a larger body doesn't mean that they have binge eating disorder or that they are bulimic. Okay, I think that we need to get rid of this idea that eating disorders are about weight. There is fear around gaining weight. There is fear around changing your body. There is body hatred. There is body image bullshit, just because I can't get my words this morning. And so those are symptoms, factors in a person who has an eating disorder, but I can't look at someone or I can't weigh someone in my office and use that as a way to diagnose someone with an eating disorder. I diagnose people with eating disorders based on behaviors that they're using, based on the fear and the anxiety that they have around their body changing, the fear and the anxiety that they have about their current body shape and size, and their food rules, their food obsessions, their body obsessions, and the guilt and the anxiety and the depression that they experience from eating or not eating food. That is how you diagnose an eating disorder. None of that involves me asking about a person's weight. Weight does become a part of the conversation when we are looking at history and we are looking at, diets that people have tried or weight loss attempts that people have tried. We do know that losing weight can trigger eating disorders. So again, sometimes that comes into like assessing and looking at a person's eating disorder history, but I am not making, again, diagnostic. I'm not diagnosing someone with an eating disorder based on their weight. So I do have clients in larger bodies with anorexia. I have clients that have normal sized, thin, looking bodies with binge eating disorder. So I want us to move away from this idea of weight being a determinant of a person having an eating disorder. Here's why this is a problem and why we've got to change the way we talk about eating disorders and how we diagnose them and how we assess them. Because a person is looking for help. A person comes to me and they are struggling. They're miserable. They can't stop obsessing about their body. They can't stop obsessing about food. They are going out of their mind because they just feel so uncomfortable and so miserable. And they reach out to a treatment program. They reach out to a therapist to help them, and they're told, we can't help you because your body doesn't match, or your body doesn't fit this like image of a person who needs this type of treatment. That's so sad. Like, if a person is miserable and if a person is saying, I have an eating disorder or I hate my body and I freak out every time I eat food, that's legit. Like, that's all you need to be able to get help, okay? That's all you need. You don't need a specific diagnosis. You don't need a certain weight. You just need to know that you're tired of feeling uncomfortable and you're tired of feeling miserable. Part of this thinking, am I sick enough, is related to your eating disorder and how you see yourself and how your eating disorder sees yourself in the world. Eating disorders are super competitive. Eating disorders are super black and white, all or nothing. And so although there are people in treatment programs and treatment centers that are like, yes, please, we will help you if you're miserable, like you don't need to have a certain weight to come get help, you might be struggling with accepting that you need help or accepting that you're sick enough, because your eating disorder is telling you, well, you don't look this way, or, well, you do eat food, you didn't, go to the hospital and for fainting, so you're not that bad, you're not that sick. There's really this idea of like quasi-recovered, and this idea that like, well, I don't need to get help, or I'm not deserving of help because there are other people who are sicker than me, or other people that, have different, more intense behaviors than me or something. But this is the thing. Your recovery and your treatment and your journey is 100% individual. It's 100% different, and it's not going to look like anybody else's. The manifestation of your symptoms, the manifestation of your eating disorder is going to be completely different than somebody else's. Just because, let's say even the DSM was 100% accurate, right? And 100% like, yes, these are eating disorders, right? You're still not going to look exactly that way. You're going to have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Maybe you won't have any of these things, and that's okay. This is very individualized. It's very unique to every single person struggling. So I think the bottom line that I'm trying to communicate today is you are sick enough. Okay? If you're even asking that question, you are sick enough. And you deserve help, and there is help available to you. There are wonderful therapists, wonderful treatment programs all over this world, all over this country. There are wonderful recovery coaches. If you don't have access to an eating disorder therapist or treatment program, there are wonderful coaches out there. There are wonderful peer support programs out there. There are wonderful groups out there. There are wonderful Facebook groups. You are sick enough, and you deserve to feel better. If you are obsessing about your body, if you're obsessing about the food that you eat, if you hate your body and feel uncomfortable in your body, if you can't enjoy things because you feel like your body isn't good enough, you are sick enough, and you deserve help. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. You don't need anything else to be sick. You don't need anything else to deserve treatment. You deserve help if you are miserable and uncomfortable. So that's all I got for us today. As always, give it a thumbs up if you like it. Leave any comments. Share this video if you find it helpful. I have a couple of things I want to talk to you about if you're wanting more support. If you are thinking, you know what? I do these things. I do. I love when I say do. It's so funny. Okay, sorry. If you are experiencing the things that I mentioned and you want more, you're wanting to fix it, you're wanting to start feeling better about your life, I have a couple of things for you. I have a Facebook group. It's 100% free. It's called Unfuck Your Body Image for those in eating disorder recovery. And we do talk about things eating disorder and eating disorder recovery, but the focus is on improving or unfucking your body image, right? And I do free live Facebook trainings in there. I do some bigger trainings. So come on, join the group. I'm going to have that information in the whatever below. The second thing I have is an online self-help, self-study program. It's 8 weeks worth of videos, worksheets, activities, information, but I have put together a program that helped me feel better about my body, helped me get unfucked, and has now helped several other women get unfucked. And it's how do you start to accept your body and feel better about your body and start living your life and getting rid of food rules and getting rid about food obsession and body obsession. And it's 100%, just self-study. You do it in your own time. You can do all the videos at once. You can take your time, go through it. But if you're wanting just tools and worksheets and information for you to be working on at home, then this is maybe a great program for you. And I'm going to have information about that below as well too. All right, so get out of here. I'm going to go enjoy my day. You do the same, and I'll see you next time.